My name is Phil George. I'm the Director of Development here at Moyne. Thank you so much for being out in this snowstorm. We appreciate it. We've got faculty, students, staff, and most importantly, not most importantly, but very importantly, our accounting alumni and friends. So thank you for being here tonight. I just want to turn it over to hear a few remarks from our 13th president, Dr. Fred Costello.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil, and let me add my thanks as well to all of you for coming out tonight, for students, for sacrificing time when I know you'd be over studying in the library, for those of you who ventured out in the snow, we appreciate it. I'm going to take just literally a couple minutes to tell you how exciting things are here at the college. I started in the summer of 2008. We began a process called One Lemoyne, where we said we're going to come together to answer the key question, the question that pulsates at our core. What must Moyne College become? We were founded in 1946. We moved up here on the hill in 1948. We've had some great successes. We were founded with the $1 million faculty, as the Jesuits know it. So we have built upon a very solid foundation. When I arrived, we said, where do we want to go from here? Clearly, we want to remain a Catholic Jesuit university that educates the whole person. But we aspire to be a premier Jesuit institution. So we've been asking, within each division, what does that mean? What will it take? Then the Division of Business, under the leadership of David McCallum leading the strategic plan, just before David, Wally Elmer, started to ask that question, in business, what does it mean? What does it mean to be premier? What must we become? They came back with a strategic plan as the college was developing a strategic plan. And the School of Businesses, what is now the School of Businesses strategic plan, which is in the One Lemoyne strategic plan, said we need to become a school and we need facilities. Those are the two key things. Not just to have a nice building, but to educate our students, to prepare these young men and women to go out there and be men and women for others, to continue to have successful careers and contribute to their communities and the organizations for which they work. This is what we need. There's a man, Mike Madden, who was there waiting for a compelling vision. And when he saw it, Mike believed in it. Believed in it to the point where he is now the second largest donor to the college. With his $7 million gift, which we quickly leveraged, thanks to our colleagues in advancement, into what is now a $17 million campaign. We've been able to transform this building, the exterior and the first floor, and next summer we will do the second floor and the third floor. Again, not to have a shiny new facility, although we're very proud of it. I can never come over here and not smile when I look at that. What we did in 3 short months here on this campus. But to be able to attract, educate, and send out into the world the students who will most benefit from this sort of education. To be able to attract the faculty, and all of you tell stories about the faculty who were here, whether it's Frank Fernandez or Joan Myers or Mary Collins, all of those faculty who dedicated themselves to you and your formation and set you up to be successful. This is an exciting time at the college. An exciting time certainly because we have this great facility, but because of great people. We need your continued support, your loyalty, your philanthropy, your mentoring, and your assisting us in recruiting students. And part of that great talent we've been able to attract is Jim Joseph, who began with us as an executive in residence, who brought incredible passion, intelligence, energy, and commitment to our college, who will soon be following David McCallum as the dean of the Madden School of Business, something to look forward to here in a few short weeks. And so with that, I'd like to turn the floor over to Jim. Thank you. Your turn.
Talk amongst yourselves while I put this on. Thank you, Fred, for that incredible opening remarks. So a couple of things. We think we lured some of you up here tonight with an invitation to enjoy some first-class music, soundscapes. It's taking place in the chapel. It starts at 7:30, so we're going to have to make our remarks brief. I have 20 tickets we've purchased, so I'm going. I know David, Father David, you're going as well. Phil, I think you're joining us. More than welcome to join us. Students, I know you probably have to study tonight, so you won't be able to make it. I'm going to take you back to the winter of 1978. my father, brother, and I were huddled around a television set listening to the late, great Hall of Fame basketball coach, Al McGuire. It was his first season as an NCAA color commentator. He had retired from coaching at Marquette University the year before and was expounding on higher education, and I'm going to quote him. Quote, "The second most important decision you will make in your life is choosing the right college. Look for a school that nurtures the whole person, the head, the heart, and the spirit. Look for a school that puts the student first." That's what I learned from the Jesuits at Marquette University. End of quote. Those very words changed my life forever. Soon I discovered there was a Jesuit college about an hour from my hometown. I entered Moyne College in the fall of 1979. 4 years later, yes, I had a degree in accounting, and I went to work for Coopers & Lybrand. But I also entered the world armed with a Jesuit education that, throughout my career, I would call upon as often as I would call upon my accounting degree. And somewhere along the line, it took me a minute, I'm a little thick, it dawned on me that I had the best of both worlds. A highly specialized Bachelor of Science wrapped in a core curriculum that evolved from the greatest education network in the history of humankind, the Jesuits. And at that point, I vowed to myself that one day, and I can't believe it's here already, I would give back to the place that had given everything to me. Let's set this aside for a moment. Let's talk about the Madden School, the vision. And Fred hit it right on the nose. We don't just want to be a Jesuit school, we want to be an elite Jesuit school. And the business school is following his vision. In 5 years, we will be a top 100 business school. The cornerstone of this rise will be the accounting program. And we have new and the right leadership with Dr. Joan Myers. We have the right leadership with Dr. Joan Myers. We also have a rejuvenated accounting advisory board. And here is the first of about 5 or 6 offers I'm going to make to you tonight to participate. We need more accounting advisors. As a matter of fact, John from Marquette, the CFO at Marquette, has agreed tonight to join the accounting advisory board. Thank you very much. We also are diversifying, and I think Mike Dings called for this at the very first meeting. We need diversity in gender, geography, and industry. He helped us in the geography standpoint, coming from 716 as opposed to 315. He didn't help us with the gender part, although you have helped us recruit a couple of very capable female accountants. We need more. So if there's anybody here tonight that is moved by this who wants to join the Accounting Advisory Board, we welcome you. In addition to the new leadership and the cornerstone of accounting, we have a 4-point plan that will bring us to the top 100. The first is cutting-edge technology. Look around you. I don't have to expound much more than that. And as Fred said, the second and third floor will join this first floor as well. Number 2, and we've already started it, the fusing of the academic world with the business community. We will do this in 3 ways. Advisory boards for every single discipline. We now have and can say an advisory board for finance, for business analytics, for marketing. These are all new. The joint IS and accounting. This is unprecedented. We have dedicated individuals from every walk of every industry within these disciplines who are giving of their time and talents, and they've already started to have an impact on the curriculum. I can say in particular the Finance Committee. They're making sweeping changes, bringing us into the 21st century. Madden Mentors, and here's your next opportunity for this evening to join us. We now have 102 Madden Mentors as of this afternoon. We have our latest that have joined us. The promise to every single junior and senior in this school is that they will have a mentor like you. And Aaron, where are you? Aaron Knackley, who is the Chief Financial Officer in Utica, New York, for a company that we all love, owned by Al Maslow, came here early today. One, because she's a good mentor. The other is because she's a good sister. Which one did you visit first? Your sister you visited first? Mentee. You visited the mentee first. Thank you for that. She visited the mentee first, who's not your sister. No. Is she studying nursing here? Theater. Oh, she's studying theater. Okay, very good. So thank you for everything that you do for us. So if there's anybody that wants to be a mentor, we're signing you up tonight. Internships. The promise to our students is that every student will have at least 2 internships. Not 1, but 2. And I've already heard tonight that a couple of CEOs, in particular Marquardt's CEO, is looking for an intern to work directly with him. And we'll see him tomorrow at the advisory board. Number 3, pillar. We have 3 centers of excellence that will significantly raise the Madden brand regionally, nationally, and globally. The first center is for reflective leadership and business ethics. And we are on the cusp of naming the first director. The 2 signature programs within this center will be the Jesuit Case Series. Yes, you heard it. Of the 200 Jesuit schools around the world, Moyne has been chosen to host the Jesuit Case Series. These will be similar to the Harvard Case Series, but written by professors from around the world, and I can tell you that I've been globetrotting for the past 2 years, and we now have professors interested. One is actually visiting here this coming weekend from Loyola Chennai in India, and we have interest from Fujian University in Taiwan, as well as a number of U.S. Schools. We have just secured, thanks to Mary and her team, over $500,000 of grant funding and we are now in a search for a director of the Jesuit Case Series. So Mary and your team, outstanding. Some of you may have read this summer about a program moving from a little school in Washington, D.C. called Georgetown to Moyne. I'm very pleased that the Arupe program for social ethics in business has arrived on campus. And John Fontana, who is the director, has joined us from Georgetown University. This is your opportunity number 3 this evening, which is we need to start a Syracuse chapter, a Woodstock Business Conference chapter. And let me just tell you very briefly what that means. These are individuals, and I've been going to the one at Scranton for the past year. These are individuals, like-minded individuals, many who I see standing in this room, who place their values first in a very secular world. In a very highly hyper-competitive world where you go out every day and fight for business to win customers in a dog-eat-dog world, but still keep your Jesuit values front and center. These people meet once a month for 90 minutes, and I've joined the group at Scranton because there is no group here at Syracuse, and I can tell you that they look forward to that 90 minutes more than anything all month. It's like-minded people, leaders of industry, in a room talking about issues of the day and how to keep their faith, their ethics, and their leadership front and center. And I want to start one here in Syracuse. John Fontana has been tasked to do that. We also have interest to start one in India and one at Fujian in Taiwan. That's the Center for Reflective Leadership. The Keenan Center for Entrepreneurship, again, thanks to Mary and her team, we've secured a $1 million gift from the Keenan family. That's why the center is named that. We have 2 signature programs. Many of you are here for the Cisco speech that filled the auditorium. We actually had spillover of 50 people into the Riley room. This semester, I'm very pleased to announce, and David, you're going to have to help me with the name, that the Senior Vice President for Talent Acquisition of Wikimedia is your friend, thank you very much for recruiting her, will be speaking here on campus. We hope to fill the room as well. The other signature program, Mr. Russo and I were talking about this earlier tonight, is the Family Business Center. The Family Business Center has moved from the Tech Garden to the Madden School of Business. There are 50 family business centers throughout North America. We now boast one here on campus. Our sister college, Loyola University of Chicago, has been very helpful in helping us get this established. A lot of content and program from that. Look for more. The first major speaker, and I thought I gave that to you and I was looking for it. There's a little company, I say little, called Cornell Iron Works. They've been around since 1828. Do you have it over there? Have it since 1828. They'll be speaking here on campus on the 25th. The final center is the Center for Global Business. I made a promise to all of the students when I started here 2 years ago, and you're going to remember this promise. And the promise was that you will have an opportunity to study in every corner of the globe. And as of this past January, it's now a reality. We've signed, Fred Postello has signed an agreement with, welcome, David. Thank you for making it. Now I have to go back and do my entire speech. Just kidding. So we promised, welcome, grab a drink, relax. We promised you that, so you can now study in Latin America, Europe, and in Asia, J-mester, Maymester, full semester, et cetera. And then finally, regional universities and partnerships. We have partnerships with Syracuse University, with Cornell University. You can now go to Lemoyne and transfer right into the master's program at the Statler Hotel School and a number of other programs. And that's the 4-point plan. And before I introduce Kurt or Mike, who's going to speak next? I just want to share with you just finish the personal story, and then I'll get away from the podium. So 2 years ago, after 25 years with Oneida Limited, and as the president and CEO, and leading the team in a turnaround, you never do the turnaround yourself, that's impossible, but I led the team that did the turnaround of Oneida. It's number one again. We sold the company to private equity. So I got my little payday, and I could have looked for my next gig, because that's what serial CEOs do. They go on to their next gig, they turn the company around, they get a payday. Fred asked me in the interim if I would be interested in this executive in residence position. And I said yes. And over the course of the year, I have fallen profoundly in love again with my alma mater. And I've decided, of course, Fred had something to do with me deciding, he had to agree to it, that I'm going to stay for the rest of my career to help young leaders like you. That's why I'm here. Thank you very much. Kurt? Yes. Kurt Oliger? Class of '86. I was his RA.
He was.
Absolutely correct.
Thank you, Jim. I won't go on as long as Jim, because I know some of you have to get to class, even after a beer, Ryan. Jim and Phil asked me to share a little bit about, why do I keep coming back to Lemoyne? Why am I up here? My conscious effort to remain connected to Lemoyne started after two seemingly inconsequential events that happened a couple of years apart. The first one was actually the day my parents dropped me off freshman year. And the second one, 2 years later at the end of my sophomore year. Quick way of background, I'm originally from Long Island. My father was a New York City cop for 26 years, and my mother worked in the parish rectory for 26 years. Shortly before I went to high school, my father had a heart attack on the job and had to retire. As a result of that misfortune, I had the good fortune. I'm not sure my parents would have been able to afford a Lemoyne education had it not been for that happening to my father. Because being a civil servant and being out on disability, the taxpayers of New York paid for most of my college education. So if any of you were taxpayers in the early 80s, thank you again. My father never let me forget that. And the day they dropped me off, he reminded me that I was very lucky to be going to the college that ultimately became my first choice, and that I should never take it for granted. I shouldn't screw up, but I should enjoy the 4 years, and then at some point after those 4 years, whenever and however I could, give back. Flash forward to the end of my sophomore year, and at that time, the regents and the trustees used to have a combined dinner at the Jesuit residence in Cazenovia. I was asked to grab 4 or 5 of my roommates to valet park for the event. And we were given a choice, $50 plus tips or not get paid anything and stay for the cocktail hour and dinner. It was the proverbial no-brainer. We stayed for the cocktail hour and dinner. Now imagine 5 or 6 19-year-olds in a room filled with very influential and very successful people, mostly alums. We were huddled together like a pack of scared rabbits in the corner by the bar, just trying to stay out of the way. Each and every one of those regents and each and every one of those trustees made it a point to come up to us, introduce themselves, and genuinely and sincerely want to get to know us. They asked our life story, where were we from, how did we choose Lemoyne, what was our major, et cetera, et cetera. One of the trustees, Tony Oliva, I had met at a previous event, and he knew I was an accounting major, and he introduced me to Mike Foodie, who was an accountant. For the next 20 minutes, we stood out on the deck at the boathouse and at the house next to the Jesuit residence, and we talked. And they genuinely and sincerely wanted to get to know me. They asked about all the litany of questions, where I was from, how I chose Lemoyne, et cetera. And at the end, almost in unison, as if they had rehearsed it, they told me to remember that I was very fortunate to be getting a Lemoyne education. I may not realize it at that time, but some point after I graduated, I would realize and appreciate the education that I got here. And then they said, and when you do that, when that time comes, think back and then do whatever you can to give back. My father's voice was echoing in my ears as they were saying that. It was then that I made my conscious decision to stay connected to Lemoyne. After graduation, I served on the alumni board. I rotated onto the Board of Regents. I'm in the process of finishing my second 6-year term on that will culminate with being the chair of the board this fall. I've served as the chair of the President's Club Capital Campaign. I served as co-chair of Founders Day with my newfound cousin, John Marshall. That's a long story. I currently serve on both the School of Business and the Accounting Advisory Board. But all of that connectivity and all of that service to Lemoyne pales in comparison to the one event that I've been a part of for the last 20 years, and it happens in the fall, and it's recruiting. It's that one time of year where I am reminded that everything we do here is for you people. It's for the students. So whether it's our time, our treasure, or our talents, we're doing it all for the students. But it's not all about bricks and mortar and textbooks. We know you can't do it on your own. You need mentors, you need advisors, you need internships. And sometimes you need what I call the doorman. Somebody to open up a door for you, to give you that little opportunity for you to prove yourself. 2005, my wife and I, who's not an alum, but has adopted Lemoyne as her honorary alma mater, her and I were having a conversation about, with all of the connectivity and all of the service to Lemoyne, we wanted to do something that would impact a student, directly a student with a name. So as part of the Achieving New Heights campaign, we endowed a scholarship. And knock on wood, when the Madden campaign came around, we were able to double our endowment so that now we help not 1, but 2, and sometimes 3 students every year. I can tell you there is nothing more satisfying or gratifying to get a handwritten note from a student telling you that you've changed their life and made their education possible. So they can't do it alone. They need our help. Thank you.
So while I have you up here, it's my honor to announce that Kurt is the recipient of the Frank Fernandez Award this coming year. Very humbled and very honored. So for all of you I haven't met, my name is Mike Dings. I'm a partner with Ernst & Young. And I'll kind of describe my, my talk tonight as a re-engagement with Lemoyne. So in the mid-90s, I actually transferred to Western New York, so I left Central New York. And though I continued to support Lemoyne financially, I was never really engaged with the students. I was never really engaged with the faculty about what was really going on at the school. And then I really had a really earth-moving event for me in 2010 when the firm came to me and said, Mike, I just want to let you know that we're really seriously thinking about not actively recruiting at Moyne College. And I was devastated. I couldn't believe it. I always thought that Lemoyne was just a machine, that it generated the best and most talented and highest in demand accounting students that you'd ever want to be, ever want to hire, ever want to have in your employ. And so I rallied within our firm and said, look, Bill Barrett, Eric Pusha, a lot of Lemoyne alums are inside the firm. I said, we cannot allow this to happen. We need to get involved. We need to help the students. We need to join the mentoring program. We need to get them whatever tools they want. But the long and the short of it is, inside of Ernst & Young, the brand of Lemoyne is really skyrocketing. The people that we have hired in are extremely talented. They're performing extremely well. And I couldn't be more happy. And actually, this was probably the largest class that we've hired from Lemoyne this past year out of all those efforts. So when I reflect on this building and what you have here and the investment that Mike Madden has had, it is tremendous. This is a game changer for the business and the finance people that are at Lemoyne. So as a group, we kind of got together and said, well, what about the accounting students? What about making an investment in the accounting students? Let's invest in scholarships. Let's invest in technology. Let's invest in the infrastructure to give them state-of-the-art tools to work in accounting, internal audit, data analytics, tax, you name it. Let's make the investment. So that's why we're here tonight. As you probably all know, Lemoyne wants to raise $1 million to fund that effort. We have $400,000 in the bank of pledges. We have $600,000 to go. And I want to know who's the first one to raise their hand to bridge the difference. I think it's going to be tremendous. I'm excited about it. I love this place. I love the students. I love my mentee over here, Colleen Oberly. I told her I was going to call her out tonight, and I just did. So it's been a great experience. I made her face turn red. Perfect. Good. And so thank you all for coming, and hopefully you'll join in our enthusiasm and make the investment in Lemoyne.
So, continue to drink and eat, and maybe join me for some music at 7:30. Thank you.